Hey, jumping in to talk about business income, how to grow it fast, and what literally is blocking like a dam, like what blocks that income in your business from being able to grow and scale. So, very important that we understand these kind of linchpin concepts as entrepreneurs so that we don't get stuck in patterns that hold us back from the business income that we want. So, if we don't know each other, my name is Dr. Shannon Irvin. I'm coming to you live to talk about how you can use the power of your brain to unlock and unleash next level business income in just 67 days. And in really, what is that one big block that is restraining your business income from being consistent? What is the thing that is stopping you? That feeling of being like you can get some sales, but you get close to that 10K months and beyond consistently requires that you overcome this one block so that the income can scale quickly. So good to see you. My name is Dr. Shannon Irvin. I help entrepreneurs train their brain to think like a seven-figure entrepreneur so they can become one so much faster. And today I'm talking all about income and how we get in these patterns in our business where we do grow a little bit, have some clients, and then it seems like it goes back down. This, I call that the entrepreneur roller coaster, where you stop and start some income, then not as much, and you go back and forth and back and forth, and how that creates for us a lot of anxiety and a lot of fearfulness because we don't know if we can rely on it consistently. So if that's you, say that's me in the chat. Let me know that you're here live. And if you haven't given StreamYard permission, make sure you put your name at the back so that I can see who's talking. But this is what I am diving deep into today. How do we unleash business revenue and remove a block that has kept struggling solopreneurs kind of stuck at an income plateau for a very, very long time? So this is going to be a fast training today. I'm going to try to be about 10 minutes or less because I want to give you a powerful tool that you can actually put into practice today to start shifting that consistency in income, to start literally letting the dam, the thing that is holding the dam back, get removed. And that's really the way I see it for a lot of struggling entrepreneurs trying to grow that business revenue and income. And what I'll see a lot, and I did it too, where you do chase a strategy and the strategy kind of works, but doesn't give you the financial freedom that you thought it would. And so instead of saying, why did that not? Because it obviously did for the person who sold you that tactic. We just do what I call entrepreneur shifting, and we shift over to another tactic or another strategy, assuming that the first strategy somehow was broken in a way. And we'll jump over to this next strategy and say, well, this strategy probably will get me to financial freedom. So if you've ever participated in that entrepreneur shifting, tell me in the chat, say shift in the chat, where you started your business and you have clients, and that's been from having conversations, being human, and really getting at people, like talking to the real people and having conversations. But then you go from that to wanting to get to 10K months and beyond, wanting to see, not have it be what I call that yo-yo effect, where you hit 5 new clients and then 0, and then 10 new clients and then 0, and then you're on this roller coaster back and forth. And what most struggling solopreneurs will do, and I did it for years before going and getting under my PhD, understanding how the brain allows growth and income and how it blocks that. And we're going to talk about that today. But when you chase a strategy that worked for someone else, and here's what I know about you, because we're very much alike, chances are when you got the strategy, you did all the steps, right? You follow steps really, really well. And you really want to be able to shift from this idea of random income to this consistent 10K months and beyond. So if that is you, put 10K plus in the chat, because I'm going to talk about the block, because we've got to remove blocks before income will flow, right? We've got to remove anything that's stopping you so that the income can flow. So 10K months and beyond consistently in your business requires one powerful shifting thought, which I'm going to talk about today. And what happens is when this thought gets automated in your subconscious, that's when your subconscious takes over and allows, oh, let me back up a second. That's subconscious. And I'm glad you're a newbie, because once you learn as a newbie, and watch how you're even called, I'm a newbie. Watch that, because you're someone who's about to change people's lives, right? So see, even that shift, like we've got to be careful of that. Sorry, I can't turn off the coach in me, but we want to try to get growth in our business by hard work, hustle, grind, work hard, do more. Anybody have this? Just put hard worker. If you have this idea in your mind that if I just worked harder at this, the dam would break on its own. Like if I just figure out how to work more hours or get a strategy that's different, or I was taught to be a hard worker, just like you. Like I was taught that the harder you work, the more money you make. When that was absolutely true in the industrial age. The more hours you put in the industrial age, the more money you make. That's where that story comes from. But man, it's coded in the subconscious. It's hardwired in there. So we try to use this broken model of income generation, work hard. It's not that you don't work. It's not that you don't spend hours. It's just that this ideology that was birthed in the industrial age and indoctrinated in our educational system, even up to now. Well, now we're indoctrinating other things, but even up to now, we've been taught how to be a good employee. And for a good employee, the more harder you work, the more money you make. And so there's this pattern in our subconscious that literally puts your brain in a bind, literally blocks income from flowing, because it is telling you you need to spend more hours, and then you deserve, or you are valuable enough to earn more money. And so there's this kind of push-pull relationship with even income in itself. And here's how you know you have this. And then I'm going to keep this tight. I'm going to talk about one way to shift this brain-based belief that literally dams your ability to have consistent 10K months and beyond. Is if you have this hard work subconscious programming. And how you know you have it is right around, like, if you ever known anybody who just inherited a lot of money or just was given a 8-figure business, what do you say about those people? People that just like come into it and they don't work hard for it and they just inherit it, right? And they just all of a sudden they're at 8 figures and they didn't really have to work hard for it. Tell me what comes up in you. Just put it in the chat. What comes up in you when you think about people making a lot of money and not working hard for it? Because I want to show you what is not your fault. However, we got to move this one core thing so that you can release your brain to allow the income. We call this flipping on the success switch in your mind. This is a super important thing that 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs know and master. And it's a skill you can learn, which is really exciting because your brain is the part of you. Your brain is the part of you that manages your thinking, that manages your emotions, that fires glucose towards something that is a pattern that is already running in the subconscious. And here's what you need to know. 90% of every decision that you make every day, therefore every action you take, therefore every result that you get, is not coming from what you want, your vision board, all the goals, or your prefrontal cortex. It's coming from your subconscious pre-programmed area of your mind. So I'm going to look back at what you said here. So that person that just happened upon the 8-figure business, some of the things you said is must be nice, silver spoon, spoiled, lucky, right? And they're probably going to lose it. They didn't earn it, lucky. So here's where I want you to see. You actually have your brain is in a bind between the thing that you want, which is consistent 10K plus income per month and beyond, and what your automatic programmed subconscious believes about people who get there. So your brain will never work against, it'll never allow, it will never unleash, it will never produce for you results that put you in a bind toward your beliefs. So if our belief is somebody who just comes into money without working, is lucky and spoiled and all of those things, right? They must be nice, right? Or silver spoon. These are the things that our brain has an autopilot running 90% of our decisions, actions, and results. So when we talk about literally unleashing your income in the next 67 days, there's one block that has gotten in the way in the past. Here's the great news. It's completely removable and completely changeable. And this is what I call the Lynch Pin to your 10K plus consistent income in your business. And you must learn this skill to unleash your income. So chasing another strategy, shifting to this and this and this and this, it feeds that hard work narrative. Oh, well, I'll work hard at this. Well, I'll work hard at this. Well, that didn't work. I'll work hard at this. We're on this hamster wheel of work hard, try, when all we got to do is pull this linchpin. And it all works. All we have to do is flip this success switch on in our brain so that our brain will allow the income to come in. And so the number one, it's going to seem really simple, by the way. Simple scales, complex fails. Just remember that. This is how your brain allows success to happen or blocks it cold. And I don't want you to not get to 6 and then 7 figures because of one block. I want you to move this block and upcoming 3-day free 7-figure mindset training. I've never done what we're about to do. I'm so excited about it. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Let's get back to the one thing. So this linchpin is belief. And what I mean by belief is not just believe it and it'll happen. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about affirmation or what's the other one? Manifestation. Just believe it really hard and repeat it. No. Your brain is the boss of what gets allowed in and what gets allowed out, right? So the boss is really the subconscious, and you can't outperform the subconscious, outwork the subconscious, out purchase courses that trick the subconscious. We actually have to move patterns out of the subconscious that don't work for your business growth. And so this idea of belief, let me tell you really quickly, the brain builds belief very step by step. This is really good news, right? Good news if you're a step-by-step person. And the thought of mindset probably in the past has been like, oh, I know I need like a 7-figure mindset, but I'm just going to work harder and maybe it'll eventually come, right? And I'm here to tell you, this is the greatest news you've ever heard, is that training mindset and a 7-figure mindset into automation is a step-by-step skill you can learn. Can I get an amen for that? Like, it's not a mystery. It's not woo. It's not for the lucky. It's actually a trainable skill that 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs have trained in, that if you haven't, then it's time, because it is the only thing. I love you so much. I need you to hear me. So lean in with me. It is the only thing holding back those consistent 10K plus months. It's it. It's not more strategies, not more authority in the marketplace, not more leads, not more customers, none of that. All of that follows when your brain is wired to believe it. And once you believe it, you absolutely will achieve it. Your brain, however, has to believe that it's safe. So we'll deep dive in the event, but really your thoughts and emotions create those patterns of belief because they've been repeated a lot. By the way, I said it's not your fault because it's been in your your environment of origin, your family of origin, whether it was great, horrible, or somewhere in between. We don't need to snorkel back there. What we do need to do is pull those stories out and neutralize and erase them. I just pulled one story out with you live right now when I asked you if somebody just happens into money, happens into an inherited business, and they didn't have to work hard for it. You take a look back at what you wrote, because that's what you believe. Let's use the word belief, but that is what has been automated in your subconscious to believe. And we've got to move those puppies out, neutralize them and erase them. And it's so simple. I'm not saying like it's easy, but to get to 6 figures, then 7 figures and 8 figures, if that's what your goal is, tell me in the chat what your goal is. Where are you headed with your business? Where do you want to be consistently every single month? Because here is the linchpin. Chase another strategy, that won't do it. Chase more messaging, say the right thing, that won't do it, because you can layer all the strategies. And I know if I showed you all the courses I had before then, before I trained my brain like this, before I went and got the PhD, before I created the neuro coach model, I am not a special unicorn. But what I did was uncover that there is a step-by-step process to think like a 7-figure entrepreneur. And I want to ask you a question. I'm looking at all of your desired results in there right now. If you want to get to 6 figures, 10K months and beyond, the fastest way to do that is to have the thinking of a 7-figure entrepreneur. When you think like a 7-figure entrepreneur, getting to 6 and then 7 and then beyond is a simple process. Yes, you need a strategy, but you don't need 20, because you cannot outperform that subconscious. It's like putting your foot on the gas, right? That's all the courses that you've bought, mentors that you've had, all of that. That's gas pedal actions. Like you put your foot on the gas and you're going. This is what I know about you. You're ambitious, right? You're an ambitious entrepreneur and you want to see this thing take off so that, and I'm not even going to use the word financial freedom. I'm going to use the words like, so that you can go take your daughter to the park in the middle of the day and not feel like that hour cost you money. Like you can take your family on a vacation and not feel like you won't have sales coming in, like because you're not there, right? The freedom that comes with a business that is generating 10K, 20K months on repeat, on autopilot, and it allows for you to finally have space to do the things you want to do for the people that you want to and really impact people. And this linchpin that gets in the way is this automated stories from other people's past about money, time, worth, success, your ability, your potential. And when we move those stories that aren't serving you out, we neutralize and erase them, and we build brain-based belief, and we do what we call in our word brain priming, where we literally teach our brain to believe it before we see it, so that our brain itself starts pulling it into us like a magnet. Then that linchpin is pulled. Then that success switch in your brain is flipped on, and then the income speed, right? Speed, if you're like, I'm fine, but it's not happening fast enough. That's what accelerates the speed. Think about it. Foot on the gas, limitations, all those thoughts, that belief pattern is like putting your foot on the brake at the same time. It's not easy to drive very fast with your foot on the brake and the gas at the same time. Yet we'll chase other strategies and things to do because that story and automation is giving us value from what we do. But once we learn how to train our brain to believe it, this word, one linchpin word, belief, then we actually take our foot off the brake. Tell me what happens when your foot's on the gas and we pull our foot off the brake. Speed, right? Speed. So much so that with our world, my clients, we teach them how to hit those income goals, those desired results in 67 days. Because your brain is the operating system to either unleash your business to that level or to literally to restrict it to where you are today. So now that you know the only thing standing in your way, don't worry, I won't leave you hanging. We have a really amazing event and video series coming up September 18th that I want to invite you to. It's called the Think Seven Figures Training, and I am going to teach you how to become an unleashed entrepreneur and get those 10K months and beyond. We're going to deep dive into training your brain to think like a seven-figure entrepreneur, remove the blocks that are getting in the way, and we're going to teach you how seven-figure entrepreneurs are able to accomplish so much in such a short period of time. This is a very step-by-step skill that I am going to teach you, and there is nothing more important in your schedule than being there. I've told my team I am not sure I'm even going to do replays because I only want serious entrepreneurs there that really want to become unleashed. So my team is not on with me today. So give me a second. I'm going to actually put the URL in there. Normally my team is with me, but I've asked them to just keep doing what they're doing. But there is the link to join the event. This is going to be the most generous, the most powerful training I've ever done for free. It's going to be absolutely incredible. I'm going to be teaching things I've never taught before. And when you leave, it's 3 days. It's 10 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Central. I want you to put it in your calendar right now. I want you to make this more important than anything else, because here's the thing. I don't want you to go back to chasing things that don't make the income happen, right? When you train your brain to think like a seven-figure entrepreneur, how much faster is it to get to six figures and beyond? Tell me in the chat. So just go to unleashedentrepreneur.com. Hopefully I spelled that correctly. I was doing it quickly. www.unleashedentrepreneur.com. Sign up September 18th through the 20th. It's powerful. So I want you to give yourself that hour each, that's 3 hours of your life to shift everything. Tell me in the chat, is 3 hours of your life to shift your income in your business forever? Is that worth 3 hours? Tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat, because I only want serious entrepreneurs there. I only want people who are really ready to become unleashed, really ready to see next level income in their business, to get past these plateaus. And so what we're doing is next week, if you sign up, you're going to start getting access to our Unleashed Entrepreneur video series. This is a video series that starts to break down the whole process for you. We're going to give that to you the week before our live trainings. And then the September 18th, 19th, and 20th, we're together live, where I am unpacking all the steps, like the blueprint, how to create a seven-figure mindset so that you can get to 10K plus months and beyond. So I want you to make this as important as anything else in your world. Like if you knew that you could go into a 3-hour training and come out the other side with everything that you need to think to create a 6-figure and then a 7-figure business, you'd be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs to not show up and be there live and do everything. So like right now, I want you to first of all, go sign up so that you get the emails and all that. Make sure you whitelist us. And right now, I want you to go in and just whatever your time zone is, whether we're going 12 o'clock Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, those days, 10 a.m. Pacific. I just want you to mark 1 hour out on all 3 of those days. Like I told my team, I'm not sure if I'm doing replay because I really want only those entrepreneurs who are really ready to scale, really ready to be able to not just say you want 6 figures, not just say you want financial freedom, not just say you want a shift for your family, not just say that you'd like to be able to go to your daughter's recital and not feel like you're losing money, not just say those things, but have the exact steps to make it a reality. We got to get rid of the old broken thinking that if I just work harder, it'll happen, and give you the exact steps. And I'll wrap with this story. You might have heard it before. It's up above. If you look in the links, it's unleashedentrepreneur.com. to sign up for the free training. So I'll leave you with this story. I was a friend of mine, Bill has 7-figure flipping. He's got a real estate business, and he had me come out and speak to his 8-figure business owners. And I spoke for about an hour, breaking down what I'm going to break down for you in this free training. And I taught them how to identify blind spots that are stopping them. I taught them how to remove limiting beliefs that are literally putting their brake on their growth. I taught them how to build brain-based belief. I taught them how to build a brain prime to teach their brain to automate the result. I also taught them how to accomplish a year's worth of goals in 67 days. All of those things you're going to learn on the live event. And as I got done, I didn't know there was I knew there was a speaker after me. I didn't know who it was. And it was Damon John. Do you know who Damon John is? Shark Tank, FUBU, like tons of businesses, multi 8-figure business owner, incredible human being, great entrepreneur. And he walks up to the podium. So I'm leaving the podium. Damon is coming to the podium, and he's looking at me like, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, did I offend him? Like, what did I say? Oh my goodness. And so he's like literally staring me down as he walks up to the podium and puts his hand on his podium. And he says, I'm Damon John, Shark Tank, owner FUBU, and rattles off the other 10 companies he's a major shareholder in. And he says, I'm going to tell you how I built what I've created today. But that woman just broke down for you the steps that I took to do it. So literally the process of building this Lynch Pin, flipping that success switch on in your brain to allow and even attract, not law of attraction. We're talking brain-based, God-created ability for you to attract in revenue levels beyond your wildest dream, not because you're doing more, but because you're removing the thing that is blocking it. And that was great validation of our neurocoach model, that it is a step-by-step process. You can learn it, and it is the only thing standing in the way. All right, that's been my training for you today. Make sure you get signed up for the live event. I'm so excited for this. I've been planning it out, mapping it out. I'm teaching things I've never taught before. You are going to learn the process to do it. And you'll leave that free training really understanding how to have a 7-figure mindset and how to become that unleashed entrepreneur. All right, that's what I have for you today. I will see you again soon. Bye for now.